Hello, good morning and welcome to another walking video. Well, today it's one of my absolute favourites. It's a 5-mile route starting at the village of Folkingham. It passes through Pickworth, then to Walcot and then back to Folkingham at the start. There are 3 beautiful churches along the route. St Andrew's at Folkingham, St Andrew's at Pickworth, which is where I'm heading now, is Grade 1 listed and dates back to the 1300s. Prince Charles, or now King Charles, once visited there in the 1980s when he was doing a visit to Boston, apparently.
The second port of call for His Royal Highness was St Andrew's Church in the small village of Pickworth near Sleaford. Luckily, today's visit was more successful than the Prince's first 20 years ago, when he was unable to get in because it was locked. He'd always promised to return, and today was able to give his support to a fundraising campaign to restore the church's 14th century wall paintings, described as the most outstanding English medieval murals. The local school children were out in force and, along with the winter sunshine, ensured that today's mini tour of Lincolnshire was a resounding success.
And thirdly, the Church of St Nicholas in Walcot. Well, I started my walk off at the same bench that I finished a walk a few weeks ago. I couldn't believe how different the market square was compared to just a few weeks ago. The trees really are shedding their leaves at the moment. There's a threat of rain in the atmosphere, but I don't think it's going to turn into heavy rain. I've got my waterproof just in case. I've also got some hot soup to have on the walk. At this point that I'm stood, you can see all 3 churches from the walk. That's the Church of St Andrew at Folkingham. Just over here, you've got the Church of St Nicholas at Walcot. And then just over the bridge, you can see the Church at Pickworth, which is also dedicated to St Andrew, which is where I'm heading now. Pickworth really is a lovely village with some beautiful houses. It's like railway sleepers. So we're on the public right of way, and it heads down here. So this newspaper article was dated 1948, and the medieval paintings above the chancel arch, they had been whitewashed over, but apparently a German bomb that went off near the village in World War II shook off some more of the whitewash, and it led to an investigation, and subsequently these medieval paintings were discovered. There's a lot of history here in the church if anybody wants to visit as part of the walk. I love stuff like this, the passing of the seasons. So the origins date back even further than the 1100s, all the way back to the 900s. The pews are really old. Hallam Hardy Johnson was born on the 28th of February 1896, the seventh child of 10 born to James and Eliza Johnson of Pickworth, Lincolnshire. His mother and father are buried in St Andrew's churchyard. After the outbreak of World War I, he joined the Sherwood Foresters at Mansfield and was sent to France on the 27th of August 1915. 1st of July 1916, the first day of the Battle of the Somme. On the first day of the Battle of the Somme, Hallam Hardy was involved in the attack on Leipzig salient. His battalion was assembled in trenches at Orthwell Wood, where they were to act as support to 2 attacking battalions. They came under heavy German bombardment, and then at 7:45 a.m. a message came through to say that the German first line had been taken, and the battalion moved into the front line along pre-arranged routes under quite heavy shrapnel fire. They found that the trenches they were entering into were full of dead men, torn off limbs and badly wounded men begging for help, but they dare not stop. Their attack was eventually halted due to heavy losses, and the survivors withdrew back to the British line. The strength of the battalion on the 26th of June was 27 officers and 710 men. At the end of the 1st of July, there were only 6 officers and 202 men left. Hallam Hardy survived this first day, and what remained of the battalion was sent away from the front line for a while. 1st of October 1916, Hallam Hardy Johnson's battalion's task was to capture the German Flers-les-Sars line on a front of over 1 mile. The battalion moved up from trenches at 9:15 to the assembly trenches, known as the Gestremont Trench. The objective was 2 lines of German trenches in Flers-les-Sars line on the right of the Albert to Bapaume Road. At 3:15, Companies A and C advanced underneath our own barrage. The objectives were taken and consolidated. The casualties were 3 officers and 12 of the ranks killed, of which Hallam Hardy Johnson was 1. 3 officers and 137 other ranks wounded, and 1 officer and 13 others missing. He was buried in Adenac Military Cemetery, Miramont, France. The cemetery can be seen in the distance from where he was killed. He received the 1915 Military Star and the British War and Victory Medals. So Hallam Hardy Johnson's parents, James and Eliza, are buried in this churchyard, so I thought it'd be fitting to pay my respects. So I'm going to go and find them. So James lived a year after Eliza, but they had to live for over 20 years after the death of their son in World War I. Just awful times for these villages. The walk now goes out of Pickworth along a public right of way, and this is the way I came in, so I've had to double back a little bit, but it's well worth it to pop into the village and have a look at the church. Now this next bit is one of my favourite little routes in the local area. Right, national speed limit applies. I'm allowed to walk up to 60 miles an hour. So here's the public footpath, which leads down here and then bends to the right. Looks like they've been doing some work down here to clear out that dyke. And I'm guessing that's all the bits they've cleared out. So this is the Church of St Nicholas in Walcot. It originates from the 1100s, and there is somewhere the base of a cross which dates back to the 1300s, which now has a sundial on it. So let's see if we can find that. So here it is. This base is Grade 1 listed as well as the church. And there's the sundial on the top. Well, I need to have my soup. So if the church is open, I'll go and sit down and enjoy my lunch. It's a late lunch, but I've enjoyed this walk so much I've not really been thinking about food. Mouse Macpherson, born in 1940, was a gifted British wildlife artist whose life and work celebrated the natural world with meticulous detail and boundless enthusiasm. When Mouse was just 16 years old, her oil painting was accepted for exhibition at the Royal Academy of Arts in London. It was an extraordinary achievement for someone so young, as the Royal Academy's summer exhibition is one of the most prestigious and competitive art shows in the UK. Tragically, in May 1986, Mouse, her husband Tim and their youngest daughter Iona were killed by a terrorist bomb while on a flight to the Maldives via Sri Lanka. Mouse was just 45 years old. Mouse Macpherson left behind a rich legacy of paintings and sketchbooks, capturing the beauty and vitality of the natural world and inspiring renewed appreciation for observation, detail and wonder. So I'm just leaving Walcot. I enjoyed my late lunch, but it's been great because since I left the church, I ended up chatting to two groups of people and passed the time away chatting about the outdoors and the local area. It was great. So if you're watching this video, a big hello to you. It's that time of day when the silhouettes come out, the golden hour. I love walking when it's like this. So it's been a thoroughly enjoyable walk today. There was the threat of rain at one point, but luckily that held off. I've seen 3 super villages, lots of history on the route, and I've met some really nice people too. So what's not to love, eh? Getting out, walking in the outdoors. Right, so it's time to say farewell. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me. I've really enjoyed the walk today. It's been absolutely brilliant, and I've got some much needed exercise. So all the best, and I'll see you again on a future video.